Every woman carries two worlds inside her, light and shadow. The light is her compassion, her warmth, her laughter that brings healing to others. But the shadow, that's her anger, her pain, her jealousy, her fear. Most women are taught to hide this darkness, to be good, to be gentle, to be agreeable. But Carl Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. That means her true power doesn't awaken when she denies her pain. It awakens when she owns it. When a woman embraces her full spectrum, she becomes whole. Her energy becomes raw and real. Men feel it. They can sense the fire beneath her softness, the storm behind her calm. And that's what makes her unforgettable. It's not perfection that draws a man in. It's authenticity. When he sees that she can hold her own darkness with grace, he feels safe to face his own. Because the truth is, men fall in love with women who make them feel more alive, not just more comfortable. And only a woman who's met her shadow can carry that depth. Her eyes speak of stories untold. Her smile hides lessons learned through pain. Her energy whispers, I've been through the dark, and I'm not afraid to go there again. That's the energy that awakens a man's soul, the power of a woman who has faced her shadow and chosen to rise. We live in a world obsessed with control. Control over outcomes, over people, over time. But feminine energy is the opposite control. It's surrender, not giving up, but giving in, trusting life instead of wrestling with it. Carl Jung wrote that the feminine is aligned with the unconscious. It flows, it responds, it moves like water. When a woman learns to trust that flow, she stops fighting reality. She becomes light, graceful, magnetic. Men are drawn to her because her energy feels like freedom. She doesn't demand love. She allows it. She doesn't chase certainty. She trusts in timing. Her peace says, I don't need to force what's already meant for me. This surrender isn't weakness. It's the ultimate strength. It says, I have faith in life. And men are instinctively captivated by that energy. Because deep down, every man yearns for that peace. To rest beside a woman who trusts the rhythm of the universe. When she stops controlling, she starts receiving. Love, abundance, synchronicity, all begin to flow her way. Because the universe only gives freely to those who let go. This is the paradox of the feminine. When she releases control, everything she ever wanted begins to find her. Presence is a woman's true perfume. It can't be seen, but it can be felt. Carl Jung taught that the more aware we become, the more life responds to us. When a woman is fully present, not lost in the past or worried about the future, her energy changes. She becomes magnetic without even trying. She doesn't rush. She moves with intention. She listens without planning her next words. She looks at someone and they feel truly seen. That kind of presence heals because it's rare. Men don't fall for women who are just beautiful. They fall for women who make them feel real. And presence does exactly that. It grounds both souls in the now. When she's present, her laughter is genuine. Her touch feels alive. Her silence feels comforting instead of cold. It's as if time itself slows down around her. That's why a present woman stands out in a distracted world. Her energy reminds everyone, especially men, what it feels like to be alive. That's why they fall in love, without understanding why. It's not her looks, it's her being. Her stillness becomes an invitation, a reminder of something eternal. Men don't fall for words, they fall for energy. And the most powerful energy a woman carries is emotion. Carl Jung described emotions as the language of the soul, the way the unconscious communicates. When a woman allows herself to feel, she becomes alive in ways most people have forgotten. She's not afraid of tears, of laughter, of depth. She feels everything, and that depth makes her magnetic. Most people hide behind masks, but a woman who feels openly gives permission for others to do the same. When she smiles, it's genuine. When she hurts, it's pure. Men don't just see her, they experience her. Her energy touches their hearts without words. And that's what makes them fall. Jung believed that repressed emotion leads to neurosis, to imbalance, but expressed emotion, handled with awareness, brings transformation. So when a woman expresses emotion with presence and grace, she transforms the energy around her. Her feelings become healing. Her passion inspires. Her softness invites trust. Men can't explain it, but her emotional honesty makes them feel safe enough to open up. Because behind every strong man is a woman whose emotional courage taught him that feeling deeply is not a weakness. It's the truest sign of life. Carl Jung believed that every man carries a hidden feminine, his anima, and every woman carries a hidden masculine, her animus. Love is a dance between these two inner worlds. When a woman is deeply in her feminine, soft, intuitive, and open, she awakens a masculine in men. He feels more alive, more purposeful, more protective. Her energy calls him into his highest self. This isn't about control. It's nature. When yin meets yang, balance happens. The feminine doesn't chase or dominate. She inspires. By being grounded in her essence, she invites the masculine to rise. A man might not even understand why he feels more powerful in her presence, but it's because her softness activates his strength. Jung said that our relationships mirror our inner psyche. When the feminine and masculine energies meet in harmony, both are healed. That's why real attraction feels spiritual, not logical. A woman who embraces this balance doesn't fear independence, nor intimacy. She knows both can exist. And that understanding, that dance, creates chemistry so deep, even silence feels electric. There's something unexplainably attractive about a woman who respects herself. She doesn't need to raise her voice. Her boundaries speak louder than words. Carl Jung said that individuation, the process of becoming whole, requires self-respect. Because without it, we live through others instead of through our truth. A woman with self-respect doesn't settle for half-hearted love. She doesn't beg for attention. She knows that the energy she gives is sacred. And because she honors herself, the world and men begin to honor her too. Self-respect is not pride. It's peace. It says, I love you, but I love me too. And men find that balance intoxicating. Because deep down, they know that a woman who values herself will also value them genuinely. Her no carries power. Her yes carries sincerity. Her love becomes a choice, not a need. That's the secret of magnetism. When she no longer needs to be chosen, she becomes the one everyone chooses. Because her energy radiates worthiness, not from ego, but from essence. Carl Jung said that the unconscious communicates not through speech, but through symbols and silence. When she embodies it, her stillness becomes a mirror, reflecting everything around her. Men feel this silence differently. It makes them listen. It draws them inward. Her quietness doesn't intimidate. It awakens. Because in a world addicted to noise, a woman who is comfortable with stillness feels divine. Her silence says, I don't need to be understood to be real. And that truth shakes something ancient inside a man. He feels seen without her saying a word. He feels calm without her trying. He feels safe, not because she gives him peace, but because she is peace. That's why her silence is so magnetic. It's not empty, it's full of emotion, intuition, and unseen wisdom. The kind that reminds him of something he's been searching for his whole life. The quiet beauty of presence, the sacred mystery of the feminine soul. In a world that rewards control and composure, vulnerability feels dangerous. But Jung knew that what we fear to show others often holds a key to our soul. When a woman opens her heart, when she allows her softness to be seen, something magical happens. Her vulnerability becomes strength. It says, I trust myself enough to be seen as I am. Men often mistake vulnerability for weakness until they experience it. Because true vulnerability doesn't beg, it invites. It says, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. That kind of raw honesty pierces through every defense a man has built. A woman's tears, her laughter, her trembling voice, they carry truth. And truth has power. It melts armor. It breaks illusions. It heals hearts. Carl Jung said that what we suppress becomes shadow. But when we express our truth consciously, it transforms us, and those who witness it. So when a woman shows her real heart, she's not losing control. She's leading with authenticity. That's why men fall for vulnerable women. Not because they're fragile, but because they're real. Their openness gives permission to breathe, to feel, to love fully. And that in a guarded world is irresistible. Intuition is the soul's whisper, and the feminine has always been its master. Carl Jung believed intuition was one of the most divine functions of consciousness, a direct bridge between the conscious and the unseen. A woman connected to her intuition doesn't just react, she knows. She senses what's true long before it's spoken. She can feel when someone's energy shifts, when something is off, when love is real. Men don't understand how she knows. They just feel that she does, and that knowing is magnetic. It gives her a kind of quiet confidence that no amount of logic can create. She moves differently, not in haste, but in flow. She makes decisions with grace. She doesn't chase what isn't hers, because she can already feel what's meant for her. Her intuition protects her peace, and her peace becomes a signal men can't resist. It tells them she's guided by something higher, by something timeless. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." A woman who lives intuitively has already made that bridge. That's why she doesn't fear the unknown. She dances with it. Her intuition is her power, her compass, her magnet, and men feel its pull even when they can't explain why. There's a quiet revolution that happens when a woman chooses peace over chaos, when she stops reacting to every storm and instead becomes a calm inside it. Carl Jung said that emotional maturity begins when we stop projecting our pain onto others. When a woman stops feeding drama, she reclaims her power. Her energy becomes sacred, untouchable. She doesn't argue to prove her worth. She doesn't beg to be understood. She simply walks away from what disturbs her peace. That kind of restraint is rare and magnetic. Men feel safe around her because her calmness brings them stability. It reminds them of home, not a house, but a feeling. Peace is not passive. It's presence with boundaries. It's the choice to protect your energy, no matter what happens outside you. When a woman radiates peace, she becomes medicine. Her calmness slows down the noise of the world. Her smile softens tension. Her words carry weight because they come from clarity, not chaos. Men fall in love with that feeling. They may not know it consciously, but their soul recognizes peace as truth. And once they've felt it, they can't forget it. Appreciation is more powerful than desire. It transforms ordinary moments into sacred ones. Carl Jung believed that gratitude opens a heart to the self, to the divine within. When a woman truly appreciates life, the colors, the sounds, the people, the lessons, she vibrates differently. Her aura becomes light. Her presence becomes nourishment. Men feel it without words. Her thankfulness feels like sunlight. A grateful woman doesn't need to chase happiness. She creates it. Her energy multiplies blessings because she sees beauty in everything. A flower, a smile, a small act of kindness. She absorbs it all like poetry. Men are drawn to her because she makes them feel alive. 2. Her laughter heals. Her optimism inspires. She doesn't complain. She transforms. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists, but what you appreciate expands." That's why her life flows easily. Appreciation is a feminine superpower. It turns ordinary days into miracles. And when a man meets a woman who lives this way, he doesn't fall for her looks, he falls for her light. True sensuality has nothing to do with seduction. It's about presence. When a woman connects to her body, her breath, her rhythm, she becomes an embodiment of the divine feminine. Carl Jung believed that sexuality is one of the soul's deepest expressions of energy, a pathway to the self. But most people use it unconsciously, to seek validation or escape loneliness. The feminine, when awakened, uses it consciously to connect. Her sensuality is not loud or performative. It's subtle. It's the way she moves slowly, speaks softly, and breathes deeply. It's the energy that says, "I am comfortable being alive." Men feel this instantly because her energy doesn't invite lust. It invites presence. It reminds them that intimacy is not about possession, but about union. Her touch becomes healing. Her eyes carry warmth. Her energy feels safe, sacred, and powerful. This is why Jung viewed integration, mind, heart, and body, as essential to wholeness. A woman in touch with her sensual nature radiates wholeness. And wholeness is the most beautiful thing a man can feel. Every man who falls for a woman isn't just seeing her. He's seeing himself through her. Carl Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." That's the mystery of relationships. They are mirrors. When a woman stands in her truth, she becomes that mirror. Her love reflects a man's light, but also his shadows. She shows him where he still needs healing, where he still hides from his heart. Sometimes he resists it. Sometimes he blames her. But deep down he knows. She's not breaking him. She's revealing him. A conscious woman doesn't fix men. She reflects truth and allows him to choose. That reflection is magnetic because it awakens something ancient inside them, the longing to become whole. That's why Jung called love the process of individuation. Through love, we meet our truest selves, and the feminine, through her depth and awareness, becomes a catalyst for that awakening. Men fall in love with her because she helps them remember who they truly are, not through words, but through reflection. Healing changes a woman's vibration. It softens her face, calms her voice, and strengthens her presence. Carl Jung said that until we heal what's within, we'll meet it again and again in the outer world. When a woman finally turns inward, when she faces her wounds and forgives her past, her entire energy transforms. She no longer attracts chaos because she no longer carries it. She no longer begs for love because she's become love itself. Men feel this shift instantly. Her peace feels magnetic. Her boundaries feel comforting. Her joy feels genuine. She's not searching, she's aligned. And alignment is irresistible. Her healing becomes a frequency that draws healed people, healthy love, and divine timing. She glows differently because she's no longer fighting life. She's flowing with it. That glow, the radiance of a healed woman, isn't about makeup or style. It's energy. It's grace born from pain. It's the light that only those who've known darkness can carry. And that's what makes her unforgettable. Letting go is not losing. It's trusting. When a woman learns to release what's not meant for her, she enters her highest power. Carl Jung said that resistance to life creates suffering. When she lets go of control, of expectation, of fear, she steps into flow. She stops chasing love. She stops over-explaining. She simply surrenders to what feels aligned. That surrender changes everything. Men can sense it. They feel her detachment, not as coldness, but as confidence. Because only a woman who trusts life can walk away with peace. The energy of letting go says, I choose faith over fear. And that's rare, that's divine. In that space, life begins to work for her. Opportunities flow. Love finds her naturally. Because the universe fills every space she clears. This is the secret Jung understood. Freedom is not in holding tighter. It's in trusting the release. And that trust is the purest form of power. At the end of all healing, all lessons, all awakening, there's only one destination. Love. Not love for someone else, but love as a state of being. Carl Jung said that love is the recognition of the self in another. When a woman becomes love itself, she no longer seeks it. She radiates it. She doesn't wait for a man to see her. She sees herself. She doesn't chase affection. Her presence becomes affection. Every step she takes, every word she speaks, carries warmth. Her energy transforms rooms, hearts, and souls because she's not searching anymore. She's become the thing everyone is searching for. Men fall for her without understanding why. Because love doesn't need logic. It only needs recognition. Her soul reminds her of home. That is the final transformation Jung spoke of. When a woman becomes the embodiment of love, she becomes a mirror of the divine. She no longer waits to be loved. She is love. And everything that's meant for her begins to orbit naturally because she has become the center of her own universe.